Hello everybody, and welcome back to Neverwinter Nights, the core campaign. I'm Josh, and this is Kigro's Adventures on the Sword Coast. Last couple of episodes, we made our way into the Charwood, and we found out that there is a castle in the center of the Charwood Village. And something has happened to the village that has basically made it become certainly haunted. Something alluded to happenings of the village's children. So we're going to go investigate the first tower today. This is Quint's Tower, and like the riddle beforehand at the beginning of the dungeon, this tower is filled with undead. So we're going to try and take care of them as quickly as possible. Thankfully, we're way better equipped than we were the first time we had to face undead. So, and actually, I could probably turn undead too. There is a small problem in this area. There is an undead that can auto-kill you with a gaze attack. So we're going to try and be careful and not fall victim to that. And I tried earlier to skip to the story part of it, but I'll need to kill off the creature that can auto-kill me because it can break into the room and interrupt the dialogue. So, at the very least, that was kind of funny for me, but frustrating from the sense that I don't want to show a lot of me dying. So, okay, Tommy is diseased, so I am going to remove that, and then we're going to unlock this door. Okay, and there's another mummy, so we'll beat on that. Gassed as well. Okay. Thankfully, again, we are way better equipped for these creatures, so mummies used to actually be hurtful. I'm also immune to their most powerful attack, which is Mummy Rot, and I can't contract it. Tommy can, but I can cure it. I will say in the paper D&D, Mummy Rot is a far worse disease than it is in this game. In paper D&D, Mummy Rot can only be cured after you get the wound blessed. And it makes it that much more difficult just to cure the problem. So, alright. And go back into this room and search all the things. Hopefully Tommy will undo that trap for me. Okay, letter to Quint. Dear Brother Quint, here are the alchemical instructions you requested on your last pilgrimage to the temple. Hopefully they will be of use to you as you continue to bring the people of Charwood to Morning Lord's grace. May the dawn ever greet you, Brother Brightmane. Okay, so this basically hints that Quint is a cleric, or at least an adherent to the Morning Lord's worship. Notes on crafting of divine potions. The crafting of more typical divine potions is generally very simple, requiring only a healer's kit, an empty and well-cleansed bottle into which you shall decant the potion, and the casting of the desired spell. Be careful, however, as not all spells will result in a potion, and a wrongful casting can prove quite painful. It is best to start on potions with which you are already familiar. So it's just telling you that you can use these materials here to make potions. We have enough potions, so I'm just going to take the healing kits. And if I need 3 more potions, I will look into it.
Okay, dokie.
But I don't think I will. Okay, well, Tomi undoes that lock, I'll undo this one. Or just walk away. That'll work too. Okay, a bit of gold. And a bit of gold. Alright. And we are going to search these holy urns for useful items. Okay, now let's move into probably this central area. If I remember correctly, there's something that I need from this room. Make sure there aren't any more enemies here. Okay, so we'll come in here. There's
My
a couple
steel
of
will
cursed
strike
warriors
true.
and a ghast again. Okay, Tomi is diseased once more, probably from the ghast. Okay, down it goes. Tomi can handle that. I'll handle this. Actually, I'm just gonna knock. And apparently that triggered a trap. Or I was just standing on one that I didn't see. Okay, some magical ammo for our crossbow. And a spell. Okay, this is the Castle Jhareg Quince Key. Alright, I think this lets me into Quince room at the end of the dungeon. And so we'll come out here. This Shrine to Lathander, I think, is an important place. So I'm going to go clear that out next, and then move over to this side of the castle and just take on these rooms here. Okay.
Here comes Halfling
That is a Ghoul Ravager, which means it is a ghoul with barbarian levels. But even that shouldn't be too big of a problem for us. Okay. Yep. We're able to tackle this pretty good. Nothing's really getting through damage, and we're able to take them out in a couple of attacks. So. Okay. So. Statue of the deity Lathander, the Morning Lord, blood-stained and desecrated. The statue of Lathander, god of the dawn, feels cold to the touch. It seems void of any divine presence. Alright, so that means because of what had happened in the castle, the shrine was tainted. And that was one reason why Lathander didn't want to hold judgment over Quint, is because of his connection to Quint. Okay, and now I will come back up this way and check out these rooms. And run into any traps because I'm not being careful. Okay, and that was a fireball. Mummies are especially weak to fire attacks, as you would assume their bandages can catch very easily. So, but that was my fireball for the day. So, unless I want to pull one out of a wand, Tommy took care of a ghast. Good work, Tommy.
You will. Darkness will take
Okay, so
you.
Tommy's getting his sneak attack against the cursed rangers, which is kind of weird, considering that they are undead vampires. But I guess they didn't program in the immunity to sneak attack. Okay, and then continue looting everything in sight, because we are the hero. We need it. Even if I don't need it. Okay, and Body Knock's ring is being very helpful, giving me more hit points. Charge into the next room, take on the guards.
Here comes halfling death!
I missed my cleave, sadly, so. Okay, and then we're gonna knock this room, because I know these chests are locked. Okay, that's a trap, so hopefully Tommy will take care of it. And he will. Ooh, is that Summon Creature 3? I already have that spell. I thought I didn't. Alright, and then this is the Imiskaran Tome of Death. This is for one of our side quests. And this one, this tome teaches you how to make a Ring of Invisibility. Alright, and we can interact with this candelabra. The candelabra's dim light does not make the bloodstained pages any more legible. Judging by the pictures and the size of the font, it was a children's book. So this is the book where Quint brought the children of the village for whatever Carlot wanted. And I'm sure we'll figure that out once we go over to his tower. Okay, go ahead and open this door. Probably some
My
vampires.
steel will strike true.
Okay, Tommy has fallen, but at this point I'm pretty self-sufficient, so I'll pick him up again before I finish off today's episode. But yeah, I'm gonna try and go it solo for a little while. All the cursed warriors were just like, nope, gacked the rogue. Okay, bunch of potions and other things. So now I'll proceed to the part where I might have to repeat this area quite a few times. One bad save against this next creature is just straight up death. So without further ado, well, not these guys. I guess they're over here. It's over here in the library, I think. But let's get rid of any other minor enemies that might come up. And also in preparation, I'm going to go ahead and go sleep visage myself. And the best way to do this is to just charge in and beat it as fast as we can. There he is. Okay, he's not using his death glare, so that is good. Able to deal with the regenerating enemies first. But he still hits like a truck when he hits. Oh, he hits so hard. Okay. As long as I can get rid of this cursed warrior, I'm not going to bother with the Owlip, because I need the Bodak down. Okay. So he tried his death glare on me. I made my save. Just keeps dropping those punches on me. Alright, but he is almost down. Thankfully he didn't spam his death glare, because if he had hit me with it enough times, I would have just failed by virtue of chance. And we get his tooth. Alright. So, that was the big bad of the level. I don't need a torch. I don't need regular arrows. And a potion will be helpful. Thank you. And just like the other place, we can grab these urns. Now I could go talk to Quint, but there is one more room that I need to take care of, and just to clear out the area, there's some enemies down here in the southern corridor that get annoying if you don't take care of them before you start talking, so... Alright, another little group of cursed warriors and an Owlip.
Both walk away from this.
With my increased defenses, this shouldn't be a problem. Now that the Bodak's dead, I don't think there's anything in this bit of the tower that's going to be able to kill me, so... Not unless I'm really not paying attention and they get lucky with a crit. Hey, a journal. Let's go ahead and read that since this looks like it's an important journal. And of course, I teleported somewhere I didn't mean to. Alright. The Journal of Quint Jhareg. It seems so odd of Carlet to suggest we have a party for the village children. Normally he hates it when even just a few of them show up, asking to be read to. The whole village? He said, trying to sound gruff. Every child. I want them all in the library on midwinter night. Lathander be praised. I think I've finally found a soft spot in the old rascal. That's the thing with children. They tend to grow on you. Off to the village then to spread the good news. Alright, so that bit of evidence shows that it was Carlet's idea to bring the children here. For what purpose? We don't know yet. And I will find out, I think, next time. Because I don't think we find out exactly what Carlet was planning until we go up his tower. So... And these mummies still hit. They hit pretty good, but like I said, thankfully I'm a paladin and I'm immune to their disease. And Body Knock's ring, it continues to just regenerate me every round. Okay. And then I think there is either one or two more small groups of enemies.
We won't both walk away from this.
And hit these guys with a spell. Just to tank their HP a bit. Okay. And then just check around the corner, making sure that there's all the traps. Yep, there we go. Thought there'd be one more. Okay. Let's take care of the... Ooh, my hit points are getting low. Like I said, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, we can do that. I also am level drained, which happened to have a trap in it. Okay, there we go. Getting back into it. And finished. Okay. Except I keep running into traps, because I'm trying to go quickly now. But I have a greater restoration scroll that I can use to get rid of the level drain, and it heals me. Alright, and the last part of this dungeon is to talk to Quint.
Stay back, dead one! I have fire to fight fire, you know! Fire to fight fire!
Didn't we meet before? We have and we haven't. Hadn't and had. Maybe it was my ghost you saw, counting woes, those I created, and those that created me, yes? Did you see a ghost stealing children from the village? That was me. Guilt is the gift that keeps on giving, you see, over and over and over. Tell me more? Blood on the pages where I read to them. Every one of them died. Every child. I've gotten quite mad, you know. Quite quintessentially mad. It was too early, and too late, you see. The children were dead before I stopped my brother from joining them, at least. Go on. I stole it. I stole his phylactery, and I ran. Oh, how I ran from him. Lips full of prayer, I gave it to Lathander, you know, for him to destroy. But it was already too late. He didn't destroy, he just tucked it away. Tucked all of us away between the folds of time. Will you give that as a written oath? Will the punishments of the abyss be harsher than here in Limbo? Will I have a retinue of demons to lash me as I walk? If so, I yearn for it. Take my written oath of every word I've uttered here, present it to the Guardian, and stand in judgment. Alright, so Quint has given us his recounting of the story. He stole the phylactery from his brother, which makes it sound like his brother Carlet was trying to become some kind of lich. Alright, so I'm going to return to pick up Tommy, get the last of his story, so I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. And the last thing I'm going to do today is talk to Tommy.
Eh? What can Tommy do for you?
I just want to talk. Oi, what did you have in mind, my lord? I'd like you to continue your story from before, Tommy. Aye, the night of the jewel heist, right? I suppose you've been a fine friend, my lord. I can tell you about it. The gem we were after was no other than the fabled Star of Kalimshan. It's not the most valuable ruby in the land, but certainly one of the more notorious. According to the legend, the Pashas of Kalimshan gifted it to their wives on their wedding night, and the stone glows from within, filled with the tears of their lost innocence, so the story goes. My daring plan, and Sammy's, was to pluck the stone from the depths of the royal palace, from the very chambers of the Seal Pasha's wife herself. Why steal it if it wasn't valuable? The ruby's value is more in the fame one would get, my lord. The Seal Pasha would never rest until he captured whoever was responsible for its theft. And there's a typo here. Fro instead of for. At any rate, the night came. Sammy and Riga stole into the palace ahead of me, with Sammy having no idea of my presence. Riga left a trail that was quite easy to follow. I remember being impressed at the time that things were going so well. No guards alerted, no problems whatsoever. I thought maybe Sammy's foul luck had finally turned for once. Well, of course, Sammy tripped over a fold in the carpet and took a spill into a suit of armor. Fell over him into two others, and the resultant clatter would have woken Nebuchadnezzar's dead brother-in-law. Poor Riga turned white as a virgin's dainty bottom when he saw the horde of soldiers charging down the hall. He leapt out the window without first considering we were over the lion pit. Poor fella. And what happened to Sammy? The guards ran right past the pile of armor. Didn't even think to look for a small halfling buried under there. Lucky for Sammy. Anyway, give old Sammy some credit for his stubbornness. He climbed out from under that armor, and still came for the ruby. Found me plucking it from its pedestal, in fact. He was surprised to see me, to say the least. I decided to give him a piece of my mind, as I recall. Why, Sammy, I said, why did you have to betray me? I've never done anything to you. He must have really liked that. I never got to hear his response. Oddly, he just turned all purple, and his eyes bulged out, and he sputtered a lot. Looked rather like some outraged kobold. The guards ran in just then, and it was pandemonium. There was fighting and screaming and running. Last I remember, I dived into the sea and woke up 3 days later on a freighter bound for Tharset. Want to hear the funny part? For all that Sammy was a terrible thief, he was a wonderful pickpocket. Stole the ruby off me, he did, and I had nothing to show for all that. What happened to Sammy? I'm not sure exactly. I'd heard he'd ended up on a slave ship and somehow got sold to one of the high captains in Luskin, poor sod. At me, I'd like to track down that ruby one of these days. The Star of Kalimshan. It'd still be worth it to make me famous. I have this ruby I found in a wizard's tower. Is this what you're looking for? By Brando Barissa's hairy feet. It is. Where in Faerun did you find that? I found it in the wizard's tower along the south road, like I just said. Huh. So Sammy did make it up hereabouts, after all. Probably slaved away in some wizard's kitchen until he slipped into a vat of ale and drowned. Ah, well. Thanks for finding it, my lord. It'll take up a nice spot on me mantle. If I had a mantle, that is. Wish I had something aside from some pocket lint to pay you back. All I can offer you is my thanks and friendship in return. Yeah, I I'm not sure I want your friendship, considering what happened to Sammy. You have a point there, my lord. Now let's find your cultists and kick some zealot butt. Alright, and that was Tommy's story. And for getting through that horrible attempt at some kind of accent, he gave us an upgrade to the Ring of the Rogue, which boosts our dexterity enhancement, as well as I think the skill bonus went up by 1. So, put that back on. And with that, I'm going to call this an episode. Next time, we'll take on Carlet's Tower and make sure we get his oath before we call judgment on what happened here and say whose fault it was. So, thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!